Hello, I'm David Guff, and this is the second of my occasional video posts on Substack. Today, I'd like to take some time to apologize to and empathize with the 36th President of the United States, Lyndon Baines Johnson. I went to high school in the 1960s, smack dab in the middle of the Vietnam War. Now, you might say that I had an above-average awareness of world events for my age group. I was also nearing my 18th birthday, a milestone that would mean that I was draft eligible. At first, I was supportive of the government's efforts in Vietnam. I had a Cold War mentality and felt it was important to stop the march of communism. However, over time, I came to realize that the United States was trapped in a quagmire of someone else's civil war, and for that I blamed LBJ. It's not like I'd been a big fan of the president in the first place. My family supported Barry Goldwater in the 1964 presidential election. Of course, that placed us within a small minority of Americans. However, I was impressed with how LBJ took the reins of government following the assassination of John Kennedy. I was willing to give him some space. But as the war dragged on and the weekly body counts increased, I grew more hostile toward LBJ. I tell you that background so that you may understand how much my attitude toward Johnson has changed. As a senior citizen traveling through my 70s, I appreciate one of President Johnson's major achievements, the creation of Medicare. No government program has been more of a blessing for me. Also, as I watch our current president stumble and bumble his way through his war of choice in Iran, I can appreciate the quagmire that Johnson found himself in. In LBJ's case, he inherited the war from his predecessor. It was also the ill-gotten advice he received from Kennedy holdovers Dean Rusk and Robert McNamara that helped steer him and the nation on a regrettable path. Now, from what I've read, I can tell that Johnson was a hard man to like. He used rough language and often physically intimidated the people within his own administration. LBJ was as cuddly as a porcupine. But he was also a passionate man who sincerely wanted to help the poor, advance civil rights, and promote what he called a great society. This is in sharp contrast to the clown who currently infests the White House. Donald Trump looks out for no one other than himself, and the nation is paying a high price for that. Perhaps we could have done better in the 1960s with someone other than LBJ at the helm. But as we are reminded every day as we turn on cable news, we certainly can and have done worse. Maybe I'm not willing to follow his 1964 campaign slogan and go all the way with LBJ, but I can and do thank him for the good he achieved.